What's up? It's that time of the week where we do our advice show. And this time of the month is the one call-in live stream show. So that means that in addition to the letters that people have previously submitted, you out there watching have the opportunity to get your question answered in real time right here on the show. You do what the process is. You pay the $10. It's US dollars for my Canadian and UK listeners. $10 US for in via Cash App or PayPal or YouTube Superchat. So you can do it either of those ways. Oops, I forgot my phone again. Oops, oh well. And then when we figure out that you've done that, you will type your question in the chat stream here on YouTube, or you can call, and I will share the call-in number, which is VoIP line. You just basically click it if you're on your phone or your computer. First, I want to put this in the chat stream for those of you who are new around here. We're doing a webinar on saying no in December. That is the promotional thing. It's just $19. It's going to be about 90 to 120 minutes. So you will be expected to take notes and listen attentively. I will put the URL in the actual chat stream though, so you can see it. It makes it a little easier. And then in a little while, after I do a number of questions, I will I'll put the call-in number so you can call in your question if you have one. But let's get started first with the stuff that, our usual and customary stuff, people that have sent in with, I think it's, 25 questions. Okay. So let's go. Question number 1. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group. She's Caucasian. She's an Aquarius from Davenport, Iowa. I gained a little weight, and I'm being hit on way more than usual by men of all races. I'm starting to think maybe I just look better, bigger. I don't know. Or do most men just like curvy girls over skinny girls? I don't know. Most men, there's no such thing as most men. I mean, most heterosexual men want a woman that looks like a woman. But that doesn't count the ones that aren't heterosexual. So I'm just going to say this. It seemed like I talked about this a week or two ago on the show. A guy who appreciates the female figure is going to want a female figure. It's just that simple. And if a guy likes, the 36, 24, 36 kind of image, that means he likes hips, he likes a bust line, he likes a trim waist, and, nice looking legs that look cute in a skirt, dress, something like that. So, I see a lot of people, especially, I don't want to pick on your folks, but it's true. Y'all just love to be skinny. I don't know what, it's a cultural thing, I guess. You could look at like, who would have thought it, as long as you have a flat stomach though, And you think because you got a flat stomach that makes you like the sexy queen of the earth. But really, like it just seems like guys really, even if they are not dating a woman that has curves, they still appreciate that look. So you didn't say how much you weigh. You said a little. 10 pounds maybe, that could make a big difference in especially if it went someplace nice, on your body. So I'm going to say that you're experiencing something very positive, and keep that in mind, because you probably look more like womanly and feminine in your clothes and stuff now than you did before when you were bony. And this is not, I have to put this in here because, people get all in their feelings. Well, I try to gain weight and it's not my fault. I'm not talking about you. Okay. I'm talking about this lady. And she gained weight and she's concerned, she's curious about it. So let's stick to this topic. It's not about you. It's not about your struggles gaining your weight, and all of you who are big losing your weight. It's not about you. Okay. It's about this lady that wrote in. So don't write me and don't make no funky comments on my video because of your situation, because it ain't about you. Okay. You don't have to say stuff like that lately, because people these millennials, man, y'all are just the most sensitive bunch of people I've ever met in my entire life. Child, Maya girl, they just be sensitive about every damn thing. I think, curves, done right. Okay, let's put it that way. Done right. And it is, men are going to be attracted to it. I don't know what else to tell you. Question number 2. This is a female in the 50 to 56 age group from Carmel, California. Some issue: dating in your 50s. Why bother? Child, we got people in their 20s saying the same thing. So let's see what she says. If I am brutally honest, my experience of dating in my 50s has been, quote, nagging, below average eggplant, lazy WhatsApping. I mean, men who can't even pick up the phone and say good morning. And what I am pretty certain is gaslighting, infidelity, cloaked as, quote, it's just how the world of dating is now, end quote. A bunch of greedy little boys with their hands stuck in the cookie jar. That's what's online dating. Is it really worth the effort? You asking the wrong person. Because, if you've been watching this show, I don't mess with the online dating thing. My one experience, I can't even tell you how many years ago that was. They had some kind of free weekend on that site that advertised, about the psychological profiles and all that stuff. I can't remember the name of it right now. That's how long ago it was. And some friends put a profile up for me for the free weekend. And most of the people that responded, well, like 99% of the people that responded were like old white men. And when I say old, I don't mean older like mature, like, older than me, older. I mean old. Okay. Old. And I was like, wow. So, that didn't go over too well. I just left that alone. It's not a race thing. It was an age thing. They were just old. I mean, they had kids older than me and sitting up there trying to date. I'm like, boy, if you don't go sit down somewhere. So, yeah, that was my one experience. And this is way before the swipey things came out. So I have no experience on the swipey things at all. I saw one time. One of my male friends was showing me his. And other than that, I don't know nothing about it and not trying to. Question number 3. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's a Pisces from Benton, Washington. Some issue: having standards has made me want to stop dating. Oh, this seems to be the theme tonight. I'm just venting. I'm only 27, but I have officially quit dating. I felt as much, and it's felt much more lonely than liberating. I won't go too much into my backstory, but the short version is I used to almost exclusively date nice guys, and she put that in quotes. Give me a short king with a bad hairline and a sad story about how women hate him because he's not Pedro Pascal, and it pulled at my heartstrings every time. Wow. They just would have got laughed at. It was me. Okay, these guys moaned that they were too nice, and that's why it turned women off, but was the opposite. They were extremely jealous whenever I went out or posted on social media. Nothing inappropriate. Not that it's anyone's business, but even a selfie, that got too many likes. They needed constant reassurance that I liked them. They took zero interest in my hobbies, but expected me to spend every weekend watching them play video games because they claimed they were all introverts who, quote, hated going out, end quote, when I think it's because they just didn't want to spend any money on something that wasn't Legos, even if we went 50-50 Legos. Oh, damn. I decided 3 years ago to get higher standards. No more going out with men I had to convince myself I was attracted to. If he wanted to take me out, he had to, one, have a job, and two, have a hobby that was outside of video games. He could play, but I realized every self-appointed gamer I went out with used it as an excuse not to leave their bedroom. Or number three, plan an actual first date. Number four, be someone I was genuinely physically attracted to. I also improved my own life. I got into the best shape. I got into a master's program. I improved my career. Okay. And Deb, I'm sure you guessed it, dating was just as bad. Well, I thought these guys were cuter. They still treated me the exact same as the, quote, nice guys. They wanted me to plan every date. They moaned about their exes and mothers, but never had the bandwidth to listen to my issues. Some of these men even in their 30s and act like middle schoolers. I've had some yell at me for not putting out after knowing them for mere hours. Men who made gold digger jokes when I assumed that they'd pay for my $3 coffee on a first date. One first date was walking in a boiling hot park for 2 hours, and when I asked if we could go somewhere inside, he said, but then I'll have to buy you a drink. Wow. First of all, why would you walk around with somebody in boiling hot heat for 2 hours? Okay, you lost me on that one. Would he want to walk around in boiling hot temperatures? I would say, no, we're not going to do that. And if this is the idea that you have a maid having me outside being baked alive in the sun and sweating and getting stung by bugs and bees, then we could just end this shit now because this don't make no sense. So, okay, so she says she officially stopped dating 4 months ago. I deleted every app. I don't approach men in social settings. I turned down my friends when they try to set me up. I thought giving up would be liberating, but being lonely doesn't mean I'm alone. I have plenty of friends and a very supportive family. Okay, so where's the question here? Let me skip some of this. She just wrote a damn novel. It feels like I'm mourning a marriage I don't think I'll ever have because kissing all those frogs isn't worth the hypothetical prince. Okay, so in all of this, you didn't even really have a question. You just wanted to spill your guts about your horrifying dating experiences. All I can tell you is, just from the stories that I read about the guys that you spent time with, you need to raise, you talk about you raise your standards and stuff at the end, but I think you need to raise them higher. Like if you don't have anything really in common with the guy, I don't care how nice he is or how cute he is, why go out with him? It's just going to be wasting your time and his too. If you see a guy and the first thing he starts doing is whining about whining about anything, okay? Anything, any kind of whining, that's immediate dismissal because G's don't whine. If you got a dude who's whining, he's not a G. And you know what? If he's not a G, that means he's not the bedroom action is going to be funky, okay? Like stupid, like don't bother because his mind's not right. If you're going to have a guy who's delivering like that, he's got to have confidence and he's got to be manly. Men who are confident and manly don't whine. So all you girls listening to this, all these dudes that you waste time on, listen to them whine and cry and pule about what somebody did to them and how they were hurt in the past and, women this and women that and, Western women this, anything, any kind of whining, complaining, just bitching by a grown man, cut him loose. Don't even bother. I'm about this thing lately. I'm on about this thing where I'm just summing stuff up lately. Like I put up a short today from one of the clips. Somebody reminded me to do it from a clip from one of the recent videos about, the three things, only the three things that you need to pay attention to as a woman. Just three things. Just three. I just don't, I just cannot with dudes. Soon as they whine, I just get so turned off. I just can't do it. And I don't understand how you go, then I whine because you didn't cook for me. It's just, this and that. And, oh, you can't, hey, my mother, hey, my job, hey, man, yeah. No. I don't know how you can deal with it because it's like as an adult woman, you shouldn't be attracted to a child person of any type or even that acts like one. So I was just really confused about how adult women can find themselves in intimate settings with men who act like children. You pick one. Either you like little kids and you play the mommy role, right? You petting them up in there like a child, or you with a grown man. You can't have both. in one body. You just get one. So you ladies is dealing with the kitty boys. I don't understand what's going on with you. So anyway, that's my comment for you. Since you went on a rant, I did too. Question number 4. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Summary of issue. Is this a normal question now? A few weeks ago, a guy approached me at the gym, and I ended up giving him my number. We texted for a few weeks and finally met up for drinks last night. I stupidly thought he was going to invite me back to his place. He said, "This might be awkward, but can I ask you something?" I said yes. I mean, we had been conversing for about an hour or so. I didn't think he needed to preface his question like that. Also, I'm super, ready for action because it's been a little while since I've gotten any. So I was kind of hoping for the invite. Then he crushed my soul. He asked me, he says, quote, "You're beautiful and I'm attracted to you, but are you trans?" Oh, God, help me. Oh, can you imagine? She says, "Deb, what the fuck? Look, I have no issues with trans people. I believe in equality and think they should have access to the spaces that make them feel comfortable. I've never worried about who was going in the bathroom next to me or whatever. I even enjoy some trans popcorn from time to time." Oh, okay, that was something we didn't really need to know in this letter. But at the same time, I'm average height for a woman, very feminine in my features, my voice, my mannerisms, and the way I dress. I feel sort of like a jerk for being offended, but also I'm born a female and have been a woman my whole life. I said, "No, I'm not trans," and he quickly apologized, and it got very awkward as he tried to explain that my hair and boobs don't really fit with the rest of my body. Nobody has ever given me that feedback before. So, needless to say, at that point, we both went our separate ways. What do you think of this situation? I think this is something that more and more women need to be prepared to handle. I saw a clip on, I think it was Instagram today, of one of those talent type of shows, like that Simon, whatever type of show. And it was three, look like women up there. And so one of the guest people, the interviewers asked the one in the middle, "Well, what's your name?" So he says, "Oh, da 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 da," in his girly voice, and he says, "No, what's your real name?" "Juan, Juan Rodriguez," or something. He said it. So then he asked the other two, and they were men too, and all three of them, just by looking, looks like girls. So I think, ladies, in light of what's going on in our society, be prepared to get this question more because, guys, there's a lot of fronting going on where those guys try to live them alleged trans people try to live a fantasy like they're really a woman. And so they go and they don't tell the guy that. Now, some dudes get violent about it because they feel tricked, which rightly so, because they're not trying to be with a dude and you lied to them and misrepresented yourself and stuff, and they get violent about it. Now, I'm not condoning violence, but I'm just saying that this is a result of those kind of games. So be prepared for straight men who are out here now to ask you that because they're not going to want to be tricked into a situation where they think they're getting ready to get busy with a girl and then some little other thing pops out. So I don't have a problem with him asking. The way he asked, though, I think was rather crass. I mean, he could have prefaced it by saying, it's been a concern, or, make up a story that goes, like, this happened to my friend or something. I don't have to worry about anything like that with you, right? Something along those lines. I mean, couch it so it's a little more politically correct. But lady, for on a real tip though, be prepared for guys to be asking you this because it's gotten to that point where there's so many males parading around here pretending to be women that dudes are afraid that they're going to get, manipulated into a situation so that they don't want to be in. And, there's nothing wrong with, if two consenting adults that want to do something like that, doing it. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying are the people who, play this game where they want to pretend like they're real women. And then the guys who want a real woman are in a situation with them and that's not what they want. But they've been tricked, lied, manipulated, coerced, or game played into it and made to believe that this was a real woman when it wasn't. And when I say real woman, I mean one that, was born a female, that has wombs and, estrogen that's natural and stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. for everybody to get all in their feelings. Well, trans women are real women too. I'm saying they're not. Otherwise, they would need the term trans in front of it as a modifier. All right. Thank you. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 5. This is a young man in the 22 to 27 age group. He's Caucasian from the UK. Summary issue: how do I deal with strangers harassing us? I'm in an interracial relationship. Oh. I've been with my girlfriend approaching 6 months now, and after a night out recently, we were approached by a black guy who got in my face and basically said that we shouldn't be together, although more colorful language was used. I was concerned for my girlfriend's safety as well as for my own, and it was quite a wake-up call. I have no intention of breaking up with her, but again, since that night, I fear something worse could happen. Does anyone in the squad have any advice for me? Well, he's asking you guys too. Anybody got any advice for him about an interracial relationship where some Dusty came up to him and was, getting in his face talking about we shouldn't be together? So how would that work? That to me would be a moment as the black woman for me to step up and say, look, I'm going to be with who I want to be with, and you don't have nothing to say about it. You ain't my daddy. Okay, I decide who I want to be with, and it's going to be the man who treats me the way I wanted to be treated. That wasn't you, and it wasn't anybody who looked like you. So just go on down the road, okay? Y'all had your chance, and nobody stepped up the way that he's stepping up, and that's why I'm with him. So, you have to like flip it around and put him in his place, because he's thinking because both of y'all got the same paint job that he's entitled to all the black women on the world, or that black women shouldn't have any options and that they owe black men something. And that's why you have to explain to him, no, I don't owe you crap. You don't know how to act, and neither do your brethren. And so that's why I'm going with a man who treats me well. And that's how it should be, is, don't be loyal to a color. You be loyal to yourself and how somebody treats you. And then you'll be okay. I tell you, I wouldn't care if the dude was green with pink polka dots. If he treats me like a queen and I feel good every morning I wake up, I feel lovely. Yes, it is, but it's a combination show. I used to do them separate, but they didn't do 2 shows back to back, and I thought, okay, this makes no sense. So what I do is, this is a call-in show. The call-in or write-in or whatever. And you can get your question answered, pay your little $10. If you want to call in your question, this is the number. If you want to type it into the chat room after you pay your $10, then you let me know. So you can do Superchat. Kiki, you don't have to be in the hood for that to happen. You tripping. You could be walking up and down a shopping district. It don't even matter. It does not matter where you are. You act like Dusties don't have cars and can't get on buses and take Uber and taxis and mopeds and walk places. They don't stay in the hood. Come on now. Open your mind up. That comment wasn't even an appropriate one to make under the situation, because you don't know where they were in the UK. So anyway, yes, this is the advice show. So, Christian, that's what you do. In the meantime, I'm going on with the questions that were already submitted. Yeah, it does happen everywhere. Just like, people, especially if they go, and then they go and you go into the white neighborhoods, and then the white boys be doing it to the black person. So you don't have to be in the hood for that crap. You have to deal with that nonsense. Question number 6. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group from Cincinnati, Ohio. Summary issue: why do people pretend they are single when they aren't? Because it's going to get them what they want. Do you not understand that? Let's see what kind of long-winded rant you went on here. I recently fell for this person at my previous job who was much older than me. I'm 28, and I think he was around 60, but he looked young for his age. I don't care what he looked like. I don't care if he looked like he was born, his ass was Benjamin Buttons. Why would you even waste your time with some old critter? And you only 28. He's more than twice your age. He constantly posts and updates his Facebook and shows the relationship status of single, and he actively flirted with me and even suggested changing jobs with me to peruse something else. He wore a wedding ring though, but claimed he was single on Facebook. I discovered he was living with a woman, and they traveled together, went to restaurants together, and basically did everything together. This woman basically owned the small company we were working at. It was a small but sketchy company. I think she knew to an extent that this guy was flirting with me. She didn't do anything and didn't treat me badly. However, she decided to stop paying me while still praising me to my face. I took this as a cue to leave, and I did. I later discovered that she bought him a luxury vehicle after I left, maybe to make up to him, but he was the one cheating, so why did she buy him an expensive gift? Why are you worried about what she does with her money? I don't fall for people when I know they're in an active relationship, but for this old guy, I had no idea. He never posted pictures of them together on social media. He kept his status as single, and he actively flirted with me and even suggested we be together. I'm so hurt by this. No, you're not hurt by this. You just stupid as hell. That's what you are. First of all, you don't mess with somebody in your job. Okay, that's the number one rule. Number two, he's more than twice your age. You screwed that up too. Number three, you don't have good judgment or smart. You're not smart at all. Why would you go with somebody who's wearing a wedding ring? I don't care if he says he's single or not. He's wearing a wedding ring, right? You saw it. So why would you even talk to him? That's the universal signal to taken. Okay. And then you sit up there like, I'm so hurt. You hurt because you want to be hurt. I'm just going to be that blunt with you. You chose to do a whole bunch of stupid stuff. You did a whole bunch of stupid decisions. Then the last one, which is you're going to work for somebody and then not make them pay you. You should have went and filed a claim with the labor board. And then you could have got not only your salary, but some punitive damages too. So you could have made out like 3 times as much money as she owes you. It's not too late, most likely. But you know you need to handle your life better than this. There's no excuse for you to be this dumb. Keep your romantic life and your job away from each other. They should never be mixed up. And in the future, if you say you 27, you don't date nobody more than 35. Okay, even that's pushing it, but that's a good age. Men usually have a little bit of sense by the time they're 35. Then they lose it again when they get 40. Not he could be her grandfather. You know the way people be having kids these days. He could be her grandfather. I'm like, this dude is just nasty. Question number 7. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from El Paso. Summary of issue. Is it a red flag if a guy I just started talking to starts bringing up smoking or drinking as a hangout suggestion? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm surprised you have to even ask this question. I just started talking to this guy, and in the very beginning, he started giving hints that the first thing he wants to do with me is probably physical. And when I make it clear that we will only hang out, then he asks if I smoke or drink. After he asked me that, I responded with all the things I like doing, my hobbies and plans and ambitions, just to test him to see how he responded to it. He hasn't yet, but I already feel like he's headed towards red flags if he hasn't already. We haven't gone on a date so far, but at this point, if he's doing all this and you haven't even met him, it's probably pointless because he already gave me the impression that he just wants to hurry up and sleep with me. And that's unfortunately never going to happen. What do you mean, unfortunately? No, see, you doing all, okay. In the video that I put up today, it's a short. In the short, I talked about respect and how respect must be there. It is anytime you don't see respect, then there's no point in talking to that person anymore. You don't date them, you don't text them, you don't meet them, you don't call them. He ceases to exist because he's a disrespectful jerk. This guy disrespected you out the gate, and instead of just dumping him, you like lamenting the fact that you haven't been on a date with him yet and writing me. Somebody help these little girls. Yeah, Maya, 60 years old. I'm not even going out with nobody 60, and I'm way over 27. Okay, I'm not going out with no 16-year-old man. I don't care. Too old for me. I like them young bucks. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with these people. All right, let's move on from her because she just... Question number 8. This is a female, 22 to 27. She's Caucasian from Edmonton, Canada. Summary of issue. I really think I need to say something to my brother's girlfriend. Keep in mind, this is the relationship show where you can get your question answered live on the air. You pay your $10, it's US dollars on Superchat, YouTube Superchat, or Cash App, Debsterism. And then you type your question there, or you click the link and you can say your question live on the air, which is if your question is, pretty involved, detailed, I highly suggest you do that because most people don't type fast enough to, really keep up with it. So this is Call Us Anonymous. Nobody knows who you are. And, we don't say your name or anything like that. So no one's going to know it's you. Okay. So let's move on. Let's go back to this letter. So he wanted to say something to his brother's girlfriend. She rather. I'm about to cause a huge row within my family, but I don't think I'm the one who's unreasonable here. I'm really losing patience with my brother who has a weird friend, best friend since school days. Granted, they don't see each other a lot now, but every time this guy comes to visit, my brother drops everything else as everything seems to revolve around this guy. That's obviously not my problem, but he seems to completely unable to see things from other perspectives. My brother is absolutely not like this guy, but as soon as he comes over, they're attached by the hip and get up to weird shit. So is your brother like gay, dabbling with this dude? Your brother like this dude? What's going on here? So now he's apparently coming over for Christmas because, unsurprisingly, he doesn't have anywhere else to go. My mother and her new partner, who's a therapist, have made it clear that they don't want him at any family events, which we have every year. My mother's partner has met him before and suspects a personality disorder, by the way. My brother then declared that he wouldn't come either and would celebrate with his girlfriend and his friend, as he'll be staying with them anyway. So this guy will be staying with the girlfriend and the friend. And your brother, I mean. My brother and his girlfriend only moved in together this year, so she's only met this guy a few times and never for long. I asked my brother if she knows what he's like, and if he has told her about the guy's criminal/borderline criminal behavior that he keeps getting himself involved in. By his own admission, she does not know because he doesn't want her to judge him before meeting him, quote, properly. When I describe this guy as weird, that's putting it mildly. Debbie is 100% creep and has been in trouble with the law before. I remember from their teens when he beat up my brother. What? And your brother's still friends with him? Who was allegedly his best friend, so bad that my brother couldn't properly move for days because his back was covered in bruises. He stayed at our house a lot until my mother barred him after he tried to crawl into her bed. He had zero interest in healthy boundaries and, dare I say, consent. And yes, I got to experience this myself as well. I could go on forever. I'm absolutely fuming that my brother doesn't want to tell his girlfriend about these things because I think she needs to know when someone will be staying in their place. I'm not saying that he'd do something to her. I am, but I think she needs to know at least so she can protect herself. I don't want to be the one to tell her though, because this might, of course, rock their relationship. But I think I will tell my brother that I will tell her if he doesn't. My mother agrees with me, but has warned me that my brother's friend might retaliate in some way, so to expect some sort of nastiness. I usually don't involve myself in other people's relationships, but I feel strongly about this one. By all means, tell me if I'm being unreasonable, though, as I might have tunnel vision. Thank you, Deb. Girlfriend, pick up the phone right there in front of your brother's face, and you say, I understand that so-and-so is coming over to your house for Christmas. Let me tell you some of the shit that he did and why he can't come to our house. That's all you have to say. You're not like gossiping, you're reporting facts. He can't come to your house. Your mother barred him from the house. He tried to get in her bed. He doesn't believe in consent. He beat your brother's ass so bad he couldn't move for days. And yet your brother still remains friends with him. I'm kind of, is your brother afraid of this guy or something? Maybe the guy threatened him, blackmailing him about something. There has to be more to the story that you don't know. This is not normal. Your brother's behavior is not normal. He's focused on protecting this guy and throwing his whole family and his girlfriend under the bus. But tell her. The next thing you know, if you don't, and then you hear about her being SA'd by this guy in the middle of the night, you're going to feel guilty the rest of your life, and so will your mother, because you guys could have protected her from that, given her the tools to protect herself. So you sitting over there worried about yourself and being scared about some possible maybe think about happening in retaliation when you already know that this guy is not wrapped too tight and he's going to be in the house with this girl sleeping where she's vulnerable. If you don't say something, that means you just a raggedy bitch. Okay? Let me just be blunt. You up there worrying about your mother talking about retaliation. You don't worry about that. You worry about the fact that this woman could be irrevocably hurt mentally, emotionally, and physically by this clown because that's his history. That's what he does. He has a track record of it. It's not like pie in the sky. He's proven that this is behavior that he enjoys doing, is capable of doing, and has done repeatedly. So I strongly suggest that you get off your ass, stop writing letters, making up excuses, and reach out to this girl and tell her so she can make sure that she goes somewhere else while this guy is there, or tell her boyfriend, if you bring him in here, we're broken up and I'm leaving. That's how it's going to be. Yeah, isn't that terrible? I just would not even, I would have done it seriously. If my brother had a friend like that, I would have done it right on the phone, right in front of both of them, and wouldn't have gave a shit. It's like, and then you want to come for me? You better be prepared to deal with Roscoe or the police, somebody. But you know, when people do stuff like this, and she says he's been arrested before, and it's like, if he's been arrested and stuff, and especially if he's been arrested for a crime against anyone in your family or on your property, why are you guys still associating with him? What's wrong with you? It's like the whole family is weak and crazy, just spineless. All y'all. Oof, Lord have mercy. I don't get it. Anybody got a question, though, to take me away from this delirium? these, these people are out their mind. This is the URL if you want to call your question in. Right there. Just pay $10, Cash App, or YouTube Super Chat. It's US dollars. And then ask your question, and I'll give you an answer right here on the spot, just like I'm doing with these people. Well, that's what I'm wondering. And it doesn't sound like it was a date by, okay, for the fact that he beat the brother that bad, it could have been a situation where the brother was SA too. You know what I mean? Because that's not normal. That's not normal. So anyway, what I'm saying is the whole family is nutty. So that therapist that's dating a nutty mother, that got the nutty kids that don't have sense enough to protect themselves and have boundaries and stuff. Question number 9. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Watford in the UK. Summary of issue. A stranger approached me to tell me that I'm pretty and put his number on my phone, but I'm very uncomfortable and I don't want to continue talking to him. Well, then why'd you talk to him then? Let's see what you got to say. Man, more of these girls that just don't know how to say no. I need some advice. Yesterday after work, I was chilling in the mall I work at because I was waiting for my ride while the mall was closing. And this guy comes up to me and just shake my hand, introduce himself, and sit down beside me to tell me he thinks I'm beautiful. I was so shocked that I just continued to talk to him because I didn't know what else to do. That's never happened to me before. You don't know how to get up and walk away? You don't know, since you work there, where the security booth is? You can't dip into a store and tell them to call security. This guy's harassing you. You can't do that. You didn't think of any of those. Okay. After that, he called and asked my age, and he says that he's 28 and she's 23, and he asked if I'm single, and I said yes. Says that he had a few drinks, but he's not drunk. Says multiple times that I'm beautiful, my eyes are pretty, my lips are pretty. Asked if I think he's pretty, which I responded to, okay. And then he says that I have a type. I said I don't have a type. I don't know what else to say. He tells me that he doesn't have a type either, but that I was his type. He even tells me my body is exceptional while looking me up and down. Asked me where I work. I had my uniform on, so he couldn't really lie. So I told him. Asked to add his Instagram and phone number in my phone. He forgot his, and I told him that I was not, quote, in the dating game and that I'm really independent. My polite way to say that I'm not interested, but he insisted, so I let him. We talked about perfumes would lead him to make me smell the one he's wearing. So yeah, on his neck and in that position, he leans in to smell my neck and tells me I smell really good. Because she gave him her phone. First she said no, and then he kept asking, and so she gave it to him. Instead of saying, what part of no do you not understand, you stupid motherfucker? Get out of my face. Leave me alone. But no, she just sitting there, just going along with it, just like a little sheep. Okay, so yeah, and so he's smelling her neck. So see, I mean, and at no point did she get up and walk away. At this point, his friend joined us, which I was grateful for, but he continued to flirt with me. Well, I was really uncomfortable. Okay, so now it's two men that could have grabbed you and just dragged you out the door. Two, one on each side, and or one would chloroform you, and one they pick you up and take you out, and you feel better about there being more fools versus just being one fool. These, he even once or twice took my elbow while he was talking to me and was trying to put distance between us because at some point I was scared he would try to kiss me. He was talking a lot of peeks at my lips. Fortunately, after about 15 agonizing minutes of talking to my mom, called me to say that she's here to pick me up. I instantly get up and say good evening and walk very fast to my mom's car. Finally, when I was on my way home, he called me 2 times and even left a voicemail to tell me that he was glad he'd be mad and that again. I was pretty and blah, blah, blah. He texted me 3 times, and the last freaking straw was that he sent me an explicit text which said, okay, I don't want to talk about, I'm not going to go. It is very explicit. I mean, like out of one of the movies, explicit. And then I only talked 15 minutes to this damn guy. Like, I don't even know you. What the fuck is this? First, I was so freaking shocked and traumatized while I was talking to me that my brain froze and I just went with it and continued to respond to his questions, even if I was uncomfortable and I didn't want to. Secondly, I didn't even flirt back with him, and my head was clear that I was not at ease. My body was stiff as fuck, and I answered him mostly with an okay, yes, and no. So I don't think I was misleading him, even though I reluctantly gave him my instant phone number. I'm sorry it's a long story to explain, but overall, I need advice on how to respond to him. I left his text unread and say that after all, I'm not interested, so get the message across clearly. I don't want to be too rude because I'm afraid that he won't take it well and will start to harass me. Moreover, he knows where I work, and I'm very scared that he would just show up to see me. Today, I was eyeing the entrance of the store every once in a while just in case he comes back, and I would have to run to the back store. What you're going to do is alert the mall security and the people that you work with what happened, and say this, describe the guy, and then say if you see him around, lurking around trying to find me or asking about me, call the police, because now it's escalated to stalking. You're going to go into your phone and you're going to block him. You're going to go into your Instagram and you're going to block him and you're going to shut it down and make it private. You could close your Instagram really, because what do you need Instagram for? You know, all you people, you girls have all this stuff and you be posting all this stuff on it, but do you really need that? No. It's just another way for, perverts to get at you. You don't need Instagram. You don't need TikTok. You don't need all that stuff. You just need your phone to, people that care about you. You text them. And I'm going to repeat again, you could have said that I don't have my phone. I borrowed my mom's phone, and no, you can't put any numbers in her phone. That's all you had to say. She's going to be here in a minute to pick me up, and I got to give her phone back. And then he would say, well, can I get your number? And you're going to say, no. I don't want to give out my number to men that I meet on the street like that. I don't know you like that. And then he kept talking to you, it's like I said, I'm concerned about the fact that you girls don't have any tools to deal with dudes like this. And parents, teach your daughter something. Like in a situation like that, get up. Say, I really don't want to talk to you. Can you just leave me alone? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm waiting for my mother to pick me up. I don't want to socialize with any guys. I don't want to be bothered. That's not what I'm here for. That's so, just leave me alone kind of thing. But you never said that. You never told him to stop. You never told him I'm not interested. You never, you never said anything. You just went along with what he was talking about. So, of course, from his perspective, it looks like you were interested. Even though you're saying that you weren't because you were stiff and all this kind of stuff. He doesn't know you, so he doesn't know what your stiff and versus your regular is. So you're expecting him to understand that you didn't feel good about the stuff by psychic power or something. Open your damn mouths, you girls. Open your mouths, and then there could be no confusion. Later, there could be no reason why he could ever say, "Well, I didn't know what she meant because she didn't say anything." And if you work in the mall, you need to have the mall security number in your phone. You should have it on speed dial, 911, or and the mall security. Tell him where you are. Say there's a guy, you ask him to leave you alone, and he won't. He won't leave you alone. And you're near this XYZ entrance. You can also talk to your mother. Tell your mother about what this happened. And tell your mother that she needs to be there to pick you up when you get off. You should get off of work. You clock out, you come out the door, you get in the car. I don't understand these parents. It's like, what the fuck are you parents doing so much, so busy that you can't be there to pick your daughters up on time? You 10, 15, 30 minutes late. And your daughter's just standing around outside vulnerable to predators while you dips in the dab and running late doing nothing. Get your asses there early. Wait outside. Your daughter's going to come out and she's going to get in the car and you're going to drive off. There should be no reason why a girl has to stand around outside in the cold, in the dark, by herself, if it's the middle of the day, by herself, waiting for your ass. Okay, you wasn't doing shit that couldn't have got you. You couldn't have put that down and picked it up later. You just make your girl stand around like that. It's too risky. You can't do that stuff these days. If you can't get there, then you send somebody else to get her. But whoever it is needs to be there 5 minutes early. When she come out the door, she gets right in the car. Okay, this should be a rule for any parent with a daughter. Well, yeah, she probably, where did she say she was living in? I forgot. I don't know what everybody's rules are about that kind of stuff. It varies from state to state. So can't really necessarily say that that's a solution for her. It varies too much. But the solution is definitely, if you're supposed to picking your daughter up, get your ass over there early and pick her up. Don't be having her waiting around outside where these weirdo men can get at her. And your daughter be traumatized and all kind of like harassed and stuff because you was want to catch the last of your story or some stupid something. It just, I don't know. Question number 10. This is a young man in the 18 to 21 age group from Louisville, Kentucky. Summary of issue. How do I turn down advances from my dates in a way that doesn't affect my relationship with them? Well, I have some thoughts, but let's see what you have to say. How do you ladies feel when a guy doesn't want to sleep with you? This is the situation. I'm fairly certain I'm demisexual. What the hell is that? Can someone explain what that is? I will look in the chat because I don't I no comprende. Okay, so he's demisexual. I've been on a fair amount of dates, most of which result in us going back to one of our places. When I go to someone's place, I feel like that has certain connotations. I feel bad not making any advance or turning down advances made on me. So I'd like to know how to do it in a way that doesn't affect the potential for a relationship to bloom. I do say beforehand that I'm not interested in anything physical early in the relationship, so they already know. Okay, but you have to be more specific than that. So what you're saying is, what you need to say is, you don't tell them all this demi, whatever that, I don't know what the hell that means anyway. But what you do tell them is, I'm the kind of guy, I'm not into that, bed hopping thing. I like to take my time to get to know someone before anything like that jumps off. So, I just want you to understand, it's going to be, if it happens, it's going to happen way down the line. It's not going to happen anytime soon. So don't get your hopes up because I'm not comfortable with it. It's not about you. It's me. I'm not comfortable with that kind of lifestyle. That's not what I'm trying to do. And you have to just explain it to just break it down. And then any person who's not that, on that same page with you will do so. And then the problem solved. Interesting. I'm just looking at some of the comments. All right, so let's move on from him. Nobody's got a question? I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for questions. Waiting. Anybody got a question? Just pay your $10 over there and then ask your question and I'll answer you in real time. That's how we do it. Question number 11. This is a young lady in the 20 to 34 age group. She's Black, from London, England, and the female in question, another female, is 35 to 41 and she's white. Wonder what this is about. Summary issue. How can I deal with this woman at work in a mature way while balancing self-respect with career advancement? Demisexual is Oh, is that what that means? Okay. Thank you, Nerly. Because everybody got so many different kind of acronyms about all this stuff. I can't keep up. But I think I'll remember that one now. Thank you. Okay, so she's black, this other chick's white, and they're in London, England. So one of my work colleagues caused me a lot of anguish by her childish actions, which by themselves are not that serious. However, I am currently passing from a very stressful time. In my personal life, I experienced her microaggressions badly. Basically, I was trying to decide to which apartment to move to, and in my opinion, at the time, my best bet was the apartment that she was working in. When she asked and I answered, she laughed in my face as if saying that I would not be a good fit. She covered it up a few seconds later by suggesting I can work with a subsection of the department where I would not be collaborating with her. Another time, she was giving a short presentation on work she had been going on, with one of the work being something that I had worked on as a trainee and for which I had basically done all the legwork. When presenting the work, however, she gave the credit to herself and another colleague and failed to mention me by name. She thought that I had logged off. Okay, blah, 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 but you didn't. Okay, you want to, I don't need to know all these details. Anyway, as I have been going through a difficult period in my personal life, and after these episodes, I just decided to take my second option in the department where I would be working rather than risk spending my career in the same office working with someone like her. Her department boss still wanted us to collaborate on something, and when she found that out, I'll be working in a different department, she suddenly became nice again. And during an interdepartmental meeting she tried to bring up the subject of us working together on this project. At the time, I just ignored her because I could not deal with her. At this point, I really don't want to work with her because the amount of anxiety she caused me with her microaggressions was unbelievable. I understand that my emotions are heightened because of my own stress, which has nothing to do with her actions. And if I were not stressed, I would, okay, then. What would be the mature way of dealing with her? I would like to make her aware that I know that she doesn't like me. I don't know why I'm not a competition for her as she was already promoted. Well, I'm just starting and a long way off from reaching her level, and I prefer not working with her if possible. The problem is that her actions were not overt, but quite subtle. And at first value, the other colleagues, except maybe the other colleague who realized that she failed to credit me, are not aware that she seemed to hate me for some reason I don't know about. On the other hand, if I help her, I can put that in my portfolio and use it during interviews to move away from this place of work so I don't have to like this so much. I'm a bit confused as to now how to proceed. I want to be respected and not let her do anything that she wants just because she doesn't like me. But, oh God, you are too fucking sensitive. Then I don't want to put spokes in my own chance of advancing my career. First of all, let's go back to you wrote a goddamn novel. I'm gonna have to talk to Candace about these people. Send them their letters back and make them edit it. Make them edit that shit down. It's ridiculous. Okay. Okay. You're 30. This woman's 37. And she's white and you're black. And the project that you did the work on as a trainee, as an intern, you did all the legwork and she built on that to create the presentation that got kudos. Do you not understand how stellar you are and how threatened that bitch is? She knows you could run circles around here by the time you get another couple of years of experience. She's scared. She's very threatened. You're younger than her, smarter than her, more talent than her, and probably look better than her too. She's extremely threatened by you. Now you, instead of recognizing that that's what's going on, you want to run scared and talk about microaggressions and stress and all this other shit here. You don't worry about that. What you worry about is what you can do that's going to be the best end game for you. And then you go for it. And you don't let nobody get in your way. If she want to act as fool, you just laugh in her face and say, it's really interesting to see how threatened you are by me. You say shit like that to her. You flip the script on her and let you know and get the mental upper hand. You don't never let a bitch make you sweat like this. Never. Never do you handle yourself like you're doing here. In this meeting, when she was talking about this stuff and giving other people credit, you're supposed to say, oh, and let me just add to that, the work that the work that I did as a trainee is what they built this program on. I did the groundwork for that. Thank you. I'm glad it was able to be used so well, and I'm glad the project, was successful in the end. But yeah, it would be nice if you had mentioned my name too. And just clown her. And everybody would be looking at her like, wow, you didn't even mention her name at all. You see what I mean? She want to play these kind of games, play them back and play them harder. You just sitting there just taking it. That's not how you handle yourself in corporate world. I want to say corporate America, but you in London, same shit. You know what I mean? I wish a bitch would. I wish they would. I've just always been very, very outspoken. You know, in a meeting, they start talking about, well, you're going to do this and that and blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, that was not what I was told. I have the email right here where I was told that I was be assigned this, this, and this. And what you just said is not on my plate. And so don't be looking for me to do it. Is a, the unspoken word. Like that's the part, I don't necessarily have to say that, but it's just like, that's not really on my plate. That's not one of my assignments. I'm not sure who that was assigned to, but it wasn't me. And everybody just gets quiet because see, they just want you to go, passive kind are used to people not speaking up. The bitch come talking over me and interrupting me. I say, excuse you. Stop. You don't talk over me like this. I'm talking right now. You wait your turn. That's rude. White girl. And she's sitting up there looking at me all kind of crazy, batting her eyes and looking crazy. I'm like, don't say nothing else because then I'm going to start, this is going to start on you. Start reaming her. So, stuff like that, you got to check people. You don't, check them the first time they do stuff. And she up there laughing because you saying that you want to be in the department. You're supposed to look at her and say, well, why is that so amusing? I'm fully qualified to be there. I'm probably just as more qualified than you were at my age. So again, it just comes across like you're threatened by me and intimidated by my knowledge and skills in my youth. And then what's she going to say? Yeah, I just don't be bothered. I don't be bothered with them type of women. Men either. We not doing that. I know a lot of them, they get used to treating people this way and they get away with it, especially with other white people because y'all be passive aggressive. You don't never just say what you want to say. You don't even in the situation where she's getting accosted by people, you don't never speak up. And I'm not saying you have to be rude and you have to be like me and cuss people out. I'm not saying that. But there is a point at which you need to say something about when people are mistreating you. You don't accept disrespect and you don't accept someone just trying to mock you and stuff like that. It's extremely unprofessional. You could have pointed that out too. Your behavior is just very surprising since you're almost 40 years old. Your behavior is surprisingly immature and unprofessional. Why do you think that is? So you say shit like that to what she gonna say? Because it is. It's not like you're calling her names and saying you trifling hoe. It's not like that. You're pointing out her behavior. And it is very much those things. So I don't know, but I'm just giving you some ideas how you better change your approach. Because you don't get your shit together now at 30. By the time you're gonna just go from place to place, department to job, whatever. And it's gonna be the same shit because the world is full of easily intimidated, inferior ass white women that see a young black girl who's smart, articulate, and strong, and they feel threatened by you. It never fucking fails. That's been my situation my whole life since I was a teenager. And every black woman I know who's got college education and degrees and stuff and job skills, we all experience that same thing in the workplace. It's just how some white women are. And it's enough of them that it causes a problem. And you better learn how to deal with the shit now and shut that shit down. You don't be letting them bitches act like that towards you. You shut that shit down and so they know, you can fuck with somebody, but it ain't gonna be me. That's my rule. It ain't gonna be me. Now, I don't know who it's gonna be. It's gonna be somebody else. And so they get put in their place real quick and leave my ass alone because they be scared. Yeah, they be petty, but I'm the petty empress of the universe. So is that what we doing? Is that what we doing? You don't want none of this. But then I have to give them a taste and then they be like, oh, I guess I don't really want that flavor after all. Yeah, I'm fucking with these people. Question number 12. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Nottingham, East Midlands in the UK. Summary issue, catered for 8 and no one showed up. Wow. You spent a lot of money, huh? I was in tears all of last night and I know shit happens, but I am so annoyed. I have a solid group of 6. 2 have partners, 4 singles. None of us have children. For the past few weeks, everyone has been seriously discussing meeting up as it's the 5-year mark of us graduating from university and going out into the world. We decided on yesterday. I and another woman initially wanted to go to a pub or restaurant, but some others suggested that we do a barbecue instead. My house was the most centrally located for everyone, so we decided that I'd host. Yesterday morning, one of the groups said in the group chat that she was tired, so she and her boyfriend would be canceling. 2 more canceled, and due to it being a long week at work, and one due to her niece being sick. Someone then said that now that there's 3 of us left, we should take a rain check. The other one agreed, so the whole event is now postponed to who knows when. I wouldn't have minded, but I bought so much food. They picked out the food. I was taking pictures and sending it in the group chat while they chose which ones they wanted, and it included things like a whole sushi platter that can't be bloody kept and brisket/seafood that are fresh and I'll never finish on my own. Am I a bitch to be completely pissed off? We all get tired, but it feels so selfish to me to cancel at the last minute like this. You stupid. You having a group thing, just because you're hosting it at your house does not mean that you pay for it. You didn't invite them motherfuckers to your house. They just decided on your spot because it was the most centrally located. So what you're supposed to do is figure out the cost of everything that they want and tell them how much money to spend you, right? And you don't pay any because you're hosting the thing, which means your water, your electricity is being used to make all this happen, right? So that's your contribution right there to space and the power and light and water and toilet tissue and all that stuff that's happening at your house. So they pay for the food. They pay for the catering. Now, that's how you were supposed to handle this group event. It wasn't your party that you invited it to. It was a group event. So the group is supposed to pay for it, not you. That was the mistake that you made here. I don't know why you thought that you were supposed to buy all this food for them. While they sitting there picking up stuff they want, they're supposed to be sending you some money. So in the future, understand what it is when you're serving as the host. It's being hosted at your house, but you are not the host as in you decide to have a party and you invite people to your house. That's different. Okay, 2 different things, 2 different types of host. So you messed up by not making them pay. It's until not too late. You can say, okay, you guys wanted all the stuff. You ordered all the stuff. The cost is this for in total. Each one of you need to send me this amount of money because all that food went to waste that you canceling at the last minute. I'm not going to eat the cost for that. And if that's something that you assume, then this friendship is over and don't call me anymore. That's where I would be with it. You don't be using up all my money and then you just act like it's no big deal. They need to send you the money for that. So you send a copy of the bill to all of them and say it's 1/6 of the cost. And then I expect everybody to submit their money to me, to my bank account or Cash App or whatever you want to do it. She don't need to cook because it's not her party. It's not her party. Even if she did, they still supposed to buy the food. So either way, they just, thinking they just getting scot-free. Oh, hell to the no. And if I had to take them to small claims court, my bitch ass would do that because that's how petty I am. You're not going to be spending up hundreds of dollars of my money and this is my money just going down the toilet. She ordered sushi and brisket and stuff like that. That bill was $1,000. Yeah, I would be using my money. I'd be like, y'all better send this money so I can book this caterer because otherwise we ain't having no party. Question number 13. Nobody got a question tonight. This works out good because remember I used to have to do 2 shows back to back. I don't want to do 2 shows back to back anymore. It's too much for me. So this young man is in 22 to 27 age group. I forgot my water. He's African American from Amarillo, Texas. Summary of issue. Am I recovered enough to date again? He asked. First, I want to thank you for the help you gave me earlier this year with my breakup. It's been almost 9 months since she left, so I'm finally feeling recovered enough to move on. So I met this girl, but I want opinions as if I'm justified or just being an insecure jerk. She's a sweet person, successful in her job. She has savings. She's a good girl. However, she's my age, roughly, about 24, and dated the same guy from when she was 16 until earlier this summer. So they were together a solid 7 or 8 years, and she still talks about him nearly every day. She said she broke up with him because he wasn't ready for marriage, etc., but she claims incessantly that she's, quote, over him. Also, she still goes and eats dinner with his mother and keeps tabs on whether he's dating or not. To top on off, she's told me that repeatedly that she's Snapchatting, texting, and possibly even meeting with other guys. She's even commented on how attractive one of her coworkers was to me. let me be clear that she has no obligation to me, and we've never said that we were exclusive. So I just want opinions because I'm thinking of just ending things and telling her that she isn't ready to move towards the same commitment that I am. So you guys hearing this? He's asking for your opinions too. She keeps making me feel bad for not kissing her or making other kind of physical advances, but I'm purposely reserved because I have been hurt bad once this year and I want to learn from my last relationship and not rush into something when I get this gut instinct that this girl is hunting a rebound rather than a recovery. After all, she dated this guy for years, yeah, damn near a decade. Deb, I just have doubts that she can be ready for anything that's serious in 23, 24. I think she needs to play the field, figure out who she is. However, I'm looking for something more serious. I also get the feeling that if her ex merely texted and asked to fix the relationship, she'd be gone with the wind. Am I being cynical? Am I just trying to be callous and not get hurt again? If I can possibly avoid it by being wise like you taught me, no, I'm glad you learned your lesson. You're being very uh, matter of fact about this, and it's the kind of thing like, okay, I don't know about you, but once somebody start talking about another person by the second time, I that's a wrap. That's the thing. Like when I was dating my husband, he did that because he had been married before. Okay, now you at first you got to hear the story, right? You want to know the dirt, the tea. So okay, now I asked my questions. We got the answer. We talked about the bitch. We talked about your marriage. How I know the whole story. Okay, how it started, how it was in the middle, how it ended. I know everything I need to know about this bitch. Okay, so now a week or so later, we laying in the bed and this clown gonna be talking about that heifer again. I was like, keep in mind, this when I was younger and sillier. I mean, just like wild and crazy and just didn't care. So I'm like this. And he's like, what's the matter? I sat up in the bed. I said, motherfucker, there's room for two people in this bed. It's going to be either me and you, or it's going to be you and that bitch. So you figure out which one it is. And so he just looked at me. And that was the first time I had ever cussed, because we had been going out, I don't know, maybe a month or two, 6 to 8 weeks, something like that. And that was the first time he heard me, cut up. Wasn't the last, but it was definitely the first. And I remember that look on his face, just like shock. Like, I didn't even know you knew words like that. And I'm like, so you make a decision, because if you decide that it's going to be her, then get the fuck up and get the fuck out. Otherwise, I don't want to hear you talk about that bitch ever again. Do you hear me? And he's like, I hear you. And that was it. He never mentioned her again. A couple of times we was in his mother or somebody in his family would bring her up and he would give him that look, that shut it up, shut it down, kind of, bucked-eyed look, that kind of look. And they would get the clue and they see me looking at him and they would shut it down. So it just, yeah, we're not talking about nobody else. So in the long story short, dude, I don't have the patience that you have to be listening to somebody talk about their ex all the time. And then she telling me she's dealing with other people and all this kind of stuff. So you're right to tell her, I'm getting the vibe from what you're saying and how you conduct yourself that we're on different pages. I'm looking for something serious. I really don't want to be dating around. I'm trying to find somebody who wants to be on a relationship tip that I do, committed towards a committed relationship. Right now, it seems like you still stuck on your ex and you dipping and dabbing and talking about other dudes a little bit too much for my comfort level. So let's just end this now because this ain't nothing gonna be happening here, and I don't want to waste any more of my time. And that's what you tell her, okay? But good job, good job. You're doing better at screening and recognizing when something is wrong, when there's red flags, when you aren't on the same page. Good job. Question number 14. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Swindon in the UK. Summary issue. I don't know how to handle his behavior. I am struggling with my partner's behavior and attitude towards me, and I don't know how to handle it. First, we don't live together, so I stay at his a few nights of the week. When it comes to sleep, we are both different. He likes to have the TV on and fall asleep to that, whereas I find it easier to fall asleep when it's quiet and dark. 9 times out of 10, it doesn't bother me that I fall asleep on bed with the TV on, but there are occasions when the TV is on loud if he's watching an action film, so it's noisy. At those times, I ask him what volume has the TV on and whether he can turn it down, or I'll say I'll go and sleep on the sofa. He never reacts well to me saying this, and his reply is always, "You're in my house, and I'll do what I want." I never know what to say to that. You used to get up and put your coat on and you leave. That's what you do. Secondly, I have noticed that he speaks rudely towards me, and this is happening more and more. Oh, hell no. If he wants to talk about something, he expects me to sit quietly and listen to him. But after I've listened to him, if I try to say something, he shuts me down by telling me to either speak to him later or to shut up. Oh, and you let him talk to you like that? Wow. Another example is the other day I wanted to quickly show him something I had bought, which is of sentimental value to me. And at the time, he was on his phone watching the football results. And he just looked up at me, huffed, and said, "Show me later because I'm busy." That turned into an argument with him shouting at me. I'm really struggling to talk to him about anything, important or not, and feel he does not allow me to talk and I'm not listened to. When it comes to wanting/needing to talk to him about something important to me, I feel I start the conversation, but then he jumps in, and before I know it, we're talking about him and his problems, and what I wanted to talk about has been overwritten, so then I just leave it. I'm not sure if I'm being too sensitive or whether this behavior is actually rude, and I'm a fool for accepting it. It's the latter. You're a fool. You're being a fool. What woman let somebody talk to her like this? You know, you one of the few people who don't say how long you've been in this crappy situation. But girl, somebody telling you to shut up, that is his house and he gonna do what he wants. You know what you are to this man? Booty. You booty that comes over and he talks to you any old kind of way and you still sleep with him anyway. And then you have an argument and you still sleep with him anyway. And then you want to talk to him about stuff and have like a real relationship and he don't want to talk to you about nothing because you're not there for that. You're only there for some booty. So recognize what time it is and exit this situation stage left. Okay? Maintain your dignity at all times. Queens would never take this kind of disrespect. Again, we back to disrespect. Disrespect is the key to 99% of what I see that comes across this column. Young women take so much disrespect and over and over and over again. There's no way in this world by the time if I said turn the TV down, I'm over there, I'm trying to sleep, I got to go to work the next day or something, and then you want to blast the TV because you can't use headphones, so I can sleep and you can still watch your movie at a volume that blasts your eardrums off if you want to. So you have to disturb my sleep. You inconsiderate prick. I'd get up and put my stuff on and that relationship would be over. See, that, and that's the thing is the difference, when you're older, you know what certain behaviors mean and you don't tolerate. I don't do the TV thing anyway. My cousin, we're both, that's my relative, and we're both females and there ain't no romance going on. If I spend the night at her house, she has a giant king bed, so I sleep in that bed with her. And her grandson sleeps in the bed with us. He's 6. So it's 3 people in the bed, right? And she want to have the TV on all loud. I'm like, oh no, I can't sleep with that loud ass TV. You got to turn that down. And she turns it down. And it's only for the days I'm there. So other than that, y'all want to blast the TV and while you trying to sleep, do have at it. But while I'm here, I need quiet. So if you want me to come, right, then you understand the parameters under which I will be here. Otherwise, I will stay in my house. They're like, no, no, cousin, no. Come, we want you to come. Okay, well, then this is what they're going to be the program. And that's how it is when people respect you in your need. You guys not getting no respect. Question number 15. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group. We got 25 questions tonight. We're on question number 15. This is the live stream where you can call in with your question or write it in. If you have one that you want to get answered right here on the show, it's a $10 fee, but it is what it is. Also, we are having our a webinar next month towards the end of December. It is for this, to teach women, just like these girls need to know on the show, my God, how to freaking say no, how to find your voice in a relationship, which means setting boundaries and saying no to people before they infringe on your rights, your privileges, and your respect levels. So if you have struggle, if you are one of the women that we're talking about like tonight that have trouble like this, please sign up for this. You need this hour and a half, 2 hours, or whatever it's going to end up being, to get yourself together before you go into 2024. It's only $19, so that's less than $20 for an education that could change your life. All right. The link to the thing is in the show description, or if you're over on YouTube. So let's see. This is 15. She's in Montreal. My best guy friend ditched me to hook up with someone who hates me And I know he understands how this hurt me. Okay. So you have a guy friend who's a platonic guy friend, and he hooked up with some woman that hates you and you and your feelings about it. Okay. My best guy is friend is a guy. He's 26 and I'm 24, and I want to clarify that I have a long-term partner, and there's nothing going on between my friend and I. We've been friends for ages, and me staying over is completely platonic. So I threw a Halloween party this weekend. I was supposed to stay over. 5 a.m. rolled around, and I went up to his room to get my bag, my phone, pajamas, toothbrush were all in his room. I thought he was just sleeping, but he was hooking up with someone I didn't have a good relationship with. For context, she's friends with my abusive ex and all of their friends. These people have spread nasty rumors about me and have generally just treated me like garbage. It sucks, and my friends witnessed it all. Anyway, I felt weird about being at the party to begin with and just decided to ignore it and just have a good night. I just wanted nothing to do with my ex or his friends. I really didn't want to come across as controlling because at the end of the day, he can do what he wants, but it really sucked. He basically passed me my stuff, shut the door, and went back to it and hasn't said anything since. Thank God someone drove me home. It made me feel sort of betrayed and ditched since I was supposed to stay over, and he didn't even have my stuff in the hallway at the very least. I felt like this before. He'll just throw out any consideration if it means he might get laid, and I'm sort of tired of it. I don't want to throw away our friendship, but I feel like I need to create boundaries for myself so that when things like this happen, it doesn't hurt as much. It's just hard to take a step back from someone you're so close with. Deb, I don't know what to say to him because I'm so over asking men to be considerate. I also don't know if I'm being overbearing, but I know my girlfriends wouldn't do this to me. No, but again, even though you consider him to be a friend, what would we call this? Isn't this in the realm of disrespect? Don't you feel betrayed? Don't you feel that he put, and it sounds like it's a pattern, his wee wee before his relationship with you? So, like you said, he puts you aside, tells you aside when he think he gonna get some. So in a situation like that, you call him your best friend. I'm not sure why, because his behavior is definitely not friend behavior. Like out of all the women in the world, he's gonna sleep with that. And she, knowing that you two are best friends, chose to go forward with it. There's a reason why she chose him. It's to get at you, and it did happen because you all in your feelings about it. So what I would do if I were you is, he hasn't brought it up. It's up to you to bring it up. You say, the other day when I was supposed to spend the night over there with you after the Halloween party, but you hooked up with this girl who, and then you name a couple of things. Why? I'm curious to know why, out of all the women that you could have slept with, you chose her. And see what he says. Don't be mad. Don't be accusatory. Don't cry. Don't whine. Just ask the question. Why did you choose her? Because I want to know too. And after you find out, send me an email. I want to know why he chose her. And he's gonna say, "Well, she chose me." They say, "Well, why do you think she chose you, though?" Don't you think there was a reason? You need to get to that. And then what you do after he gets through stumbling and stuttering and making up excuses, say, "Well, it's become apparent to me after I've kind of thought about the way that you've treated me over the past year or so that our relationship is not as close and you're not as good of a friend as I thought you were. So I need some space. Okay. I'll check you out in a couple of months if everything's still okay, or whenever I feel better, whenever I think things through, whatever you want to phrase it, but let him know it ain't gonna be no time soon. And then you deuce out. Create a void where he misses you, and so he has time to reflect on his behavior towards you. It may end up that this is the end of the road for you two. That happens because you are at that age. But if it can be salvaged, it's gonna be up to him to do that because he's the one who's doing all this, pushing aside stuff. Okay, listen to what I'm saying. Otherwise, you're gonna be wasting more and more years with this guy where he treats you worse and worse, and he ain't nobody but a friend or supposed to be a friend. Question number 16. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Tucson, Arizona. Summary of issue. I was followed by two men in a parking lot. I called my boyfriend to pick me up, and he didn't even come. Wow. So yesterday we were eating in a restaurant and with my boyfriend, and after we both had meetings to attend, I left to take the bus, and he stayed at the restaurant for his meeting. On my way to the bus stop, I was passing through a parking lot. There I saw two guys looking at me while I was walking. Then they started to follow me, making loud comments about my body. Pretty disgusting stuff. There was no one else there, and I was wearing heels, so I couldn't really run. I didn't have any pepper spray either. When I arrived at the bus stop, there was still no one there, and they stopped just near me. Then something happened on the road behind us, some sort of vehicle noise, and while they were distracted, I ran in the opposite side of the road and jumped on the first bus that was passing by. I was lucky enough that the car noise and the bus happened at the same time. That was divine intervention. After 2 stops, I got off and called my boyfriend. I explained this the guys were following me and I wanted him to pick me up because I don't know where I am. Initially, he was supposed to drive me to my appointment. Basically, he didn't even ask the details or if I was okay. He laughed and said that if someone looked at me, it's not a R. I sent him my location. It was 900 meters away. He said it's too far and he was busy. I was so shocked. I yelled on the phone, wow. Deb, I just can't understand how someone can be such a piece of shit. 2 days went by and he's acting like nothing happened. When I confronted him and asked how I'm supposed to consider him as a man, he asked me to move from the apartment. I told the story to his mom and nothing, not a word. She ate her tongue. What the hell? Am I becoming too sensitive or they both just don't give a fuck about me? I cannot imagine being on the other side of the phone if a friend called me and acting like they both did. What should I do? You should move what he said and move out. Again, this is a respect thing. Okay. You being followed by 2 dudes and you by yourself, and your dude is at a restaurant right down the road over there somewhere, a few blocks away, whatever. I don't know how much is 900 meters. But and he can't jump in his car and scoop you up and at least take you back to where he is and let you get an Uber or a taxi or something like that to take you where you need to be safely in one piece. He couldn't even do that. You understanding what I'm saying? He gave no fucks about what you said was going on and how threatened you were by 2 weird men following you. So I don't know what you thinking, why you think you need to confront him and talk. I would have went home and packed my shit that day and been out because him and his mother, both of them feel the same way about you and just left you to the dogs like that with no cares and no concern. And you still there? I don't understand why you even wrote me this letter. He doesn't care about her. It's another situation where these girls thinking that, moving in with a dude means something and she just living booty. I mean, what kind of, you guys see what I'm saying? Like, this has been the overwhelming theme why I want to do this, to just say no video. Because this is something that you should say no to. Being treated like this. There's no respect here. By the time you were on the phone, you're crying and upset and scared and everything. Every man who I know who cares about his woman will be like, baby, I'm on my way, right? You guys, I'm on my way. That's what a man says who cares about you. I'm on my way. If he can't get there, I'ma send Rollo. He on his way. Okay, he gonna send his boy to get you. If he can't, in a situation where he can't get there fast enough, he's too far away, his car's down, something like that. Otherwise, they gonna borrow a car, they gonna get, something gonna happen. I'm on my way. That's what I don't know, that's what they say when they give a shit. Now, when they don't, you get this kind of stuff. So he didn't care what happened to you. What happened to you? Lost, miles away from where you were on a bus stop. You got jumped on to save yourself, and you don't know where you are now. He didn't care. Yeah, that's what it is, Sliver. I just don't understand why you would even stay with a guy like this and even talk to him again. And why are you going to tattle to his mother? She's the one that raised this ratchet, wretched, dusty ass fool. So, she don't have good sense either. Right? Because, that's who raised him. He's useless and so is she. So I suggest that you raise your standards and get away from both of these fools as quickly as possible. There's no respect here for you at all. No, neither one of them give a fuck about you. The sooner you understand that and get out of the situation, the better for you. Question number 17. This is a male in the 20 to 34 age group. He's African American, a Cancer from Sacramento, California. Summary of issue. Everyone out there is looking for a goddamn comedian. I'm looking for someone who makes me laugh, end quote. I'll fall for you if you're funny, end quote. You'll win me over if you can make me laugh, end quote, is what I see on probably every second woman's profile on the swipey things these days. What do women expect us to do with this information? Do you want me to send you new memes? Buy a joke book. This is an improv comedy course. I get it. Dating someone who gets your sense of humor, can make you laugh is a dream come true. But putting that in your profile won't make me any more interested in you, and it doesn't add anything. It's just very generic. Now that brings me to the part that I love the most about online dating. How superficial and generic it is. Okay, you're just bitching. Sure, putting together a good profile is hard, but either 90% or more of women out there are either boring or don't bother putting up effort, and neither one makes me excited about getting to know you. And sure, I'm not the most amazing or interesting person either, but I do try to find things that can make me stand out because, as an otherwise pretty average guy, I would not get any matches at all. Perhaps this is where the difference between men and women in online dating comes in hand, because women can get a lot of matches without really having to put in a lot of effort. But for me, this really makes me jaded at the moment when every profile seems the same. Guess it's time to delete my apps once more, rant over. Yes, like I said 900 times before, I don't recommend these dating apps. I don't know what y'all be doing with these things. Swipe, 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 swipe. I don't get it. But I'm going to say this to you, young man. A woman, you're saying that that's generic. It's not generic. Do you understand the pressure? I mean, just think about this realistically. The stress, the pressure, the depression, the anxiety that's in your generation. Don't you know that laughter, there used to be a book with this title called Laughter is the Best Medicine. And this guy healed himself from cancer by creating laughter or something. I oxygenated his system, something different, and put out some endorphins or something. I don't really know. I didn't read the book. I just remember the title. He was being on all the talk shows and stuff. I was a little kid. But when people are facing that kind of stress on a daily basis, to be with someone who is entertaining, who distracts them from that, who relieves that pressure, who makes them laugh and smile, who can make them feel happy inside, is a blessing. So you're looking at it like, well, everybody wants you to be a comedian. Well, you old sourpuss. What you need to do is figure out why you're so evil and what you can do to bring a smile to somebody's face. Flip that around. Okay. That's what they want. They want someone who's going to be amusing, entertaining, fun to be around, exciting to talk to, who makes them smile, who makes them happy to see him, because he just lightens and brightens their day. That's what make me laugh means. Okay? You just think it's somebody just want to be going hee hee ha ha. There's more to it than that. Think deeper. My God. It's me too. I do that. Man, I tell you what, you wanna laugh and feel humored about. Try doing the 200 kettlebell swings. Do 200 kettlebell swings and see how you feel after. And if your ass is not laughing a storm while you fall on the floor and feeling like you're about to gasp for your last breath, that's what you do. That'll make you understand. You little dummy. Ooh, dude, come on now. Question number 18. This is a male in 35 to 42 age group, mixed race. He's a Scorpio from New York. Summary of issue. I've been chatting with a girl for a few weeks, and last night she tells me that she had a one-night stand over the weekend. Okay. Oh, it's starting to rain. I hear the rain hitting the window. I've been chatting with a girl for a few weeks. Last night I'm sorry. I'm 38 and I've been chatting with a girl 31. Okay, wait a minute. You're 38 years old and you're still referring to adult women as girls? Okay, that you already on the stupid track right out the gate. Something's wrong with you. Women, okay, your 30s, those are women, not girls. I matched on the dating app. Wow, I could tell he's stupid. Last night we got into talking about eggplant, nook. Somehow, And I asked her, when was the last time she had it? She told me that it was actually over the weekend and she got the urge and opened up a swipey thing and found a random guy to do it with. She said it didn't mean anything and it was only a physical urge she held to satisfy. Wow, she told you that? I would have went to my grave before I admitted any stuff like that. How morally am I wrong by saying, oh yeah, I also went on XXX and paid XXX for a night of fun? I've not actually done that. I just feel like I need to respond to her in the same manner. So not only are you stupid by calling adult women in their 30s girls, you also are immature and want to do the tit for tat thing. Okay, you are just not winning any points with me. Okay. Am I more okay? Then what's the difference between these two situations? What that you lied. That's the main difference. You lied and she didn't. Girls can get nook nook for free and most guys can't. They can if they good looking and they have a good stroke game. Not only can they get the nook nook free, they can get home cooked meals and get clothes bought for them and be taken out and all kind of stuff. If they, looking like something nice and tall, got a nice body and their stroke game is on point. They'll have 3, 4, 5, 10 women waiting their turn. That won't be you because you don't have it like that. I don't think I'll want to move forward with her anyways. Am I wrong? Oh, no, nope, not at all. Because she should not want to move forward with you because you stupid. Let me just be blunt. Okay. First of all, sir, can we grow up here? Can we mature? Can you understand that you're an adult and you're dealing with adult women and that they should not be referred to as girls ever? Girls are 18 and under. Really like 16, 17, 18 are young women. 19, those are young women. And by the time you're in your 30s, you're just a woman, period, not no girl. Little girls are like 1 to about 10. And then girls are, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16, 17, 18 are young ladies. Okay, so you using like a kiddie mindset here to refer to adult women as girls. That just does not compute with me. But yeah, she's single. She can do whatever she wants to. Do you have to like it? Nope. Do you have to date her? Nope. So that's your right. Oh, oops. Wait a minute. Okay. Question number 20. Female, 28 to 34, age group from Denver. Can you help me with my marriage problem? My husband and I have been together for 9 years, married for 4. We have 2 young children, 2 and 1, so to say that we are a pretty intense couple of years is an understatement. We've lost our relationship since becoming parents and it's taken its toll on us. We're not really active, nook-wise, lately, and our relationship is strained. I naively thought that this was just what married couples experience when they are very young and demanding children in the mix and believe you come back to each other more as the kid gets older. Don't get mad, Deb, but I have always known that my husband has enjoyed attention from other men and has in the past in his younger years had experiences with men. Okay, the fact that you asked me not to get mad means that there's something on the horizon that you're trying to warn me about. Let me brace myself. Y'all brace yourself. Tonight, he informed me that he has battled with his sexuality for as long as he can remember and recently has been getting close to his openly gay friend who is unhappy in his relationship and who has made it clear to my husband that he would have him in a heartbeat if my husband ever wanted to go there. We've had this person over to our house on 2 occasions now for dinner at our house. I have tried to be supportive of my husband and accepting his sexuality as it is his journey and really has no effect on our marriage. You stupid to think that. Or that was my way of thinking as he has chosen me to spend his life with. Was. However, as we got deeper into conversation about this, he informed me that he is developing feelings for his friend and he is feeling confused. He explained in a way that made me wish that he wished that there were 2 of him so that he could be with me to continue our life while being with his friend. Okay, I'm not really sure how to feel, react, or support him on this journey, knowing he feels this way for his friend. He says he needs his friend in his life as he helps him so much for not judging him and being a good friend and does not wish to feel romantic feelings towards him, but he cannot help how his feelings are becoming. I'm so confused and worried about my future. I just feel as though my life is crashing down in front of me and there's nothing I can do to stop it. I am scared about how life will be for my children. I cannot imagine my life without the man I love and marry. I also have no one to turn to and feel this isn't something I can discuss with anyone, as we only have mutual friends and no one but this friend or I know about my husband's sexuality, so I do not want to put him. I do not want what he, she must mean on blast. Can you help me with some advice? Yes. Go to an attorney immediately and discuss child support and visitation. And then you file your divorce papers. And then you go home and you give them to your husband and say, this is how I'm going to support you on your journey. You're going to be free as a bird to go over there and fly into his bed or any other man's bed that you want to. But one thing you're not going to do is be in mine. Okay? And so, bye. It has been great. The great 7 years together. I hope you find what you're looking for and be happy. And I would mean that seriously. But you're not going to do it with me, and you're not going to do it in my house, and you're not going to do it over my kids, and you just going to go somewhere else and do that shit. That's essentially what I'll be telling him. This is how much you need to send every month to support your 1 and 2 year olds, and be prepared, because once you move in with somebody else, then their income becomes a 2-income household, and their income becomes parts of the measuring stick for the child support payments. So if he moves in with dude and dude's making bank, then you're gonna get like a double check for each kid. So it could turn out to be your benefit. You can hire a nanny or something. Move to a better place. Cause he gonna be paying for up the yin yang for some. You got like tots, tiny tots, like barely out the womb tots. So he got a good little couple of almost 2 decades to pay child support. And I sure would make sure that he paid it too. My kids need to go to Stanford. You better set up that college fund, bruh. I don't know, but this is happening to more and more women. This is not a joke. This is not, I mean, it's not Jerry Springer. This is happening. I saw it. I put up on the community wall, but my gay friend showed me, right? And he talks about it all the time. This is common. These dudes, they dabble. And then they decide they would rather be over there than with you. So this is a common thing these days. The other ones, they just decide that they are gonna turn into a woman. So then I guess it's more acceptable, because then it's not, quote, 2 men. It's the trans woman and a man. But essentially it's still 2 men. But I guess it just looks better. I'm not really sure what to say about that. Question number 21 of 25. We didn't have anybody calling in with their own questions tonight, at least not yet. So we'll continue on with these. Question 21. This is a young lady in the 20 to 34 age group from Chicago. Summary of issue. This Dusty pulled me down so he could get up. Metaphorically speaking, that's what happened. When we got together, he was down on his luck, and I quickly fell unhappily into the mother role. Okay, and you just stayed there to do that? Remember what I was saying earlier? You get to be the mommy or you get to be the lover. You can't be, it don't work to have them both. You get to be one or the other in a relationship with an adult male. Okay. I finally extricated myself from the relationship at the end of last year and was excited to finally start living life for myself after a string of toxic and abusive relationships. My hope for better things to come was quickly extinguished when he immediately struck up a relationship with my ex-best friend, who also happens to live a few streets away. Although I wouldn't see it at the time, she was incredibly cruel to me and started distancing herself. I was devastated, but blocked them both and tried my best to move on with my life. I was feeling so much stronger until I received a letter from him, the gist of which is that life is amazing for him now and he's over me. He thanked me for trying to help him, but said that hurting him had made him sort his life out, so he forgives me. Ever since, I have sunken back into the depths of grief, and I can't find a way out. Okay, before I finish this, let me just stop right here. You got a letter from your ex. Why did you open it? Why did you not put return to sender and put it back in the mailbox? Why did you read that? See, I don't get you women. These dudes set these kind of traps where they just going for the knife in your heart. And instead of you, doing the U-turn thing, back to him, you just go along with it and just let him hurt you like that. You just willingly went and opened the envelope and sat there, legs crossed, all interested to read what he had to say. I wouldn't have gave a damn. But I wouldn't have burned it. I would have made sure he got it back so he could know I didn't read it. I would want him to know that I didn't read it. Okay. And that's why I would do it that way. Oh my God. Okay, so let's see what else she's whining about. So I recently found out he's having a huge birthday party with ex-boyfriend circle that she always kept me at arm's length from. He has a magnetic personality, so everyone loves him. So I'm not surprised things are going well for him. And yet he's again found himself the center of attention. I know I should be happy for him. Why? You stupid. But it feels so unfair that I sacrificed so much to help him with his life on track, and I'm repaid by catastrophic damage to mine. My faith and trust in people has been absolutely destroyed, and I don't want to hang out with my incredibly small remaining support network because I'm such a drag to be around. My self-esteem has been crushed, especially as one of the last things my ex-boyfriend said to me was that he preferred his company and implied that I was boring. I have a milestone birthday coming up, and I know it's just going to be a reminder of all that I've lost. I've already had my fair share of trauma, yet it keeps coming, and I just want to give up. How am I ever going to get over it? Right now, I can't imagine ever being happy again. God damn it, you're stupid. You are just like so dumb. You just let this man lead you like the Pied Piper off the cliff. And you just following along, just letting him just just orchestrate your life. How old did you say you are? Because I know this 28 to 34. Okay, so we don't know where you are in that range, but whatever it is, even if you're 28, it's still too old to be letting somebody, especially if you're from Chicago, you're supposed to have some street smarts. Supposed to have some game better than this. Okay, the first mistake you made was you got with a man who was down on his luck and you played the mother role. That was the first mistake you made. When a man is down on his luck, he can't do nothing for himself, so he can't do nothing for you. So that means there's no relationship possible there unless you're going to roll in with your super cape on playing Nurse Ratchet or, you know, somebody save a Dusty. So you did that, okay? So then you finally got away from him, and then he started a relationship with your best friend that lives a few streets away, okay? So, and you somehow magically know all this information about him having his party and all this old stuff here, and I'm wondering, why are you keeping up with them? Why don't you block them on all social media? All people who report on what he's doing, block them. I mean, your world should be so free of him that you wouldn't care anything about what's going on with him. And then since 20 to 34 age group, and I'm figuring like, okay, so either she's turning 30 or she's turning 35, right? For her milestone birthday, probably just the 30. Book yourself a trip to Jamaica or some damn where. You and a couple of your friends go, and you can rent a villa over there, stay a week. The villas include a maid and a butler and driver if you want one that's extra. But they cook you 2 meals a day. I mean, it depending where you stay, it could be 2, it could be 1. But and you stay there, and it's just very relaxing, and the water's nearby, and y'all party and have fun. And then you go to the clubs, and you could go to Mobay, or you could go to Ocho Rios, or you could go, I don't know, I don't really like Kingston too much. It looked like LA with some palm trees. To me, I'm not a fan. But I like Montego Bay a lot. So, go, they have great nightclubs there. Y'all go, you dance, have a good time. Just enjoy yourself. Don't think about him. Don't let this silly, petty, dusty stuff get into your head like this. Please pay attention to the videos on his channel about self-esteem and boundaries, because you need some lessons very dearly on both of those. All right? Ooh, girl, Lord have mercy. I'm telling you, you guys, I haven't been drinking, right? I've been drinking. I've been staying away from alcohol. And you know what I found out? When I don't drink wine, I don't gain weight. I don't really eat that much. I don't really eat that much. Most of my calories came in liquid form, I have discovered, because I lost like 10 pounds, and it just not coming back because I'm still eating the same, but I had to give up my wine. But guess what? The holidays are here, and for Christmas, I'm going to go buck wild. I'm going to have eggnog and brandy. And then when it's New Year's, I'm going to just drown myself in champagne. That's what I'm going to do. Then I'll be right back on the wagon again. But yes, so when you guys see me after New Year, I'll probably have a fat face because I'll be so full of booze and sodium and stuff and fat from all the sweet potato pies and everything I'm going to be eating. I've already planned my menu, the 10 pounds I'm going to be gaining over the next month. This guy, he's so dusty. Let's move on from him. Question 22. This is a female in the 20 to 34 age group. She's Caucasian from Sayreville, New Jersey. Summary of issue. How do I get over work acquaintances who suddenly act disagreeable towards me? First, let me say I don't go to work to make friends. Well, then what you writing this fucking letter for then? I have no interest in being friends with this girl. I try to be nice and courteous to everyone at my work, and this is someone who seems to enjoy small chats about work every now and then. Randomly, 2 weeks ago, she pulled a 180 and now avoids me at all costs. I am fine with this and actually prefer it as small talk stresses me out. However, when she has to communicate any kind of work-related info, she does it in a rather hostile way. And I can feel disdain just dripping off of her. I have no idea what had happened. Again, I'm fine with not talking to her, but I literally feel sick to my stomach from knowing what happened. From not knowing what happened. I have no idea why it's affecting me so strongly. I just want to not think about it since I have no desire to be friends with this person, but I literally cannot stop thinking about it. What's your advice for letting stuff like this go? You have to stop wanting to be liked. That's what's at the root of this. You want everybody to like you. So the fact that even if you don't want to like them back and talk to them, you still want them to like you. And the fact that she doesn't like you is what's making you turn into like a nut. But all you have to do if it's bothering you when she talks to you, all kind of crazy, is just ask her. What is this avoiding stuff you guys do? You're a grown woman. Say, I noticed that your attitude towards me has changed and you just be like all snarky and bitchy these days. What's that all about? And then make her explain. She's going to be like, I'm not being like that. Well, it sure seems like that to me. And I think you know that it is too, so don't deny it. We're all adults here. Just explain it. Why do you feel like this kind of behavior is appropriate in the office? And then see what she says. Most likely she's going to be like, oh, it's really not appropriate in the office. Let me stop doing it. By the fact that you mentioned it, though, and called her out on it, see, that's how these kind of women do, though. As long as you don't say nothing, they're going to keep doing it because they think that you either don't recognize it or you're too scared to say anything. That's why I always make it a point to say something. So, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting like that? Why are you talking all crazy? And then laugh like it's not really bothering you. You're just curious. Because, you start sitting there sniveling and getting waters in your eyes and doing the whole waterworks thing, your voice cracking and all that old shit, showing that you all emotionally bothered by it. Well, then she'll know she won. You never let them see you sweating. You never let them think they won either. So you just be looking at her. It's like, I just noticed. I was just curious. It's no big deal, though. Whatever. Do you. If she doesn't want to answer. That's all you have to say to close things out. And then you're dismissed. Psh, psh, psh. This is my famous my hand movement. When people get on my nerves and I don't want to be bothered with them no more, I go poof, poof. My daughter was the one who pointed that out to me. She said, Mommy, do you know that when people get on your nerves, even at your job, or your friends and stuff, when they start talking crazy, you go like this. Psh, psh. I said, I do? She said, yes. And so then I start paying attention and I was like, dang, she's right. I'll be like, you're dismissed. But yeah, that's what happened there. All right, so let's move on to question number 23. This is a young lady. Well, I guess she's not that old. 42 to 47. She's mixed race from London, England. Summary of issue. Are these flags as red as I think they are? After a long marriage, I'm back on the dating market. Now I'm in my mid-40s. I started talking to this man the same age as me about 6 weeks ago. Oh, why am I so tired today? We live near each other, but he has been away until last week. Anyways, we had great chemistry over chat and video calls whilst he was away, and it was even better when we met last week. We have basically been inseparable ever since. We have lots of fun. The eggplant is great. We have the same interests, the same taste in music, food, films, etc. I find him really attractive and fun, and he says he feels the same about me. He says he wants a serious relationship. It's okay, so all good so far. My issue is his past. He has a young child who lives abroad with a mother who he goes and sees 3 to 4 weeks at a time, 3 to 4 times a year. They broke up a year ago, and he says he finds her really annoying, and he's not attracted to her physically. Problem is they always have had nook when he goes, and sees them in this last year. He says I shouldn't be concerned about it because he's been single, but he won't do it now that he's met me. She and the child are coming to see him in a month and a half, and they're all staying in a third country together where I won't be. And I feel really unsure about what to make of that. He said he's going to tell her that he's met me, but that he obviously won't stop them from having Nook Nook. I asked him how long he's gone without having Nook Nook in the last year, and he said maybe a month. In the 6 weeks that we have been, okay, she's getting in too deep. Talking, he has had it with 2 other women. I don't expect full commitment before meeting someone, so I can't really say that he's done anything wrong, I guess. But am I strange for feeling a bit grossed out about it? He says I'm being insecure when I ask about it, and that is what he's doing is normal. I just don't think I can feel relaxed about him spending so much time with the mother of his child, who he also occasionally sleeps with, even though he's not attracted to her and finds her annoying. If that was true, why would he do it? My question to you is, why are you just getting out of a marriage and single and in your 40s, in your sexual prime, dealing with the food like this and exclusively? Girl, okay, I'm telling you, when I was in my 40s, garden tool. It's just the way it is. You should be out and about doing whatever the fuck you want to do with whoever you want to do it with. So when he goes out of the country, and I want you to start now, I want you to start dating a bunch of men, okay? And if you want to sleep with them, you do that too. Because you know why? You single, right? You single. And I would be sure to do that. And then when he comes back, oh, well, how are you doing? Oh, it was so interesting. I met this guy and, and he was amazing in bed. And we did this and that. And then I met this other dude and this. That. So, two can play this game. And you remember, just like he says, I'm single. He's reminding you that you are too. And you so used to being married and being faithful to one man, you're getting confused. That's been your lifestyle, but you're not in that lifestyle anymore. You don't have to live that lifestyle. You don't have any commitment to this man. Do you get out there, girl, before you get too old? I'm telling you. I'm just saying, Shay. I was just like I lived a good life. Okay. When I get old, like I'm gonna be like, yeah, let me tell you about this and that. But girl, seriously though, you should not be tripping about what he's doing. When he starts talking about him going everywhere and telling these women stuff, say, you don't have to tell her anything like that because it's not like we a couple. And it's not like I'm going to be sitting on my hands waiting for you to get back. Be sure to drop that lug and let him know. You going to be fucking me too. You going to be going out with somebody? Me too. Isn't that fun how we can both do that because we both single? Make sure he understands that before he sets foot on that plane, that you're not going to be sitting around waiting for him to get back. Okay? And you get yourself out there and you do what you need to do. I'm telling you. It's just like, I don't know. Older, younger, black, white, Asian, I didn't give a fuck. Whatever. If he was cute, he was hot, and he had some conversation and a nice body, I was like, bet. Let's see what you got going on. Yeah, I need to go find me some pictures of me when I was younger so I could show you guys. But everything's in my storage unit and show you guys. Because I was just like, yeah, I don't know. I'm with these women. I'm not about that life where I'm going to be sitting around waiting for some motherfucker I'm not even like in a commitment with. But I told y'all I don't really believe in all that boyfriend, girlfriend shit anyway. That don't mean nothing. Unless you married, you single. There's only 2 ways to be, married and single. And if you ain't married, then you single, and that means you can do what the fuck you want to do with whoever you want to do it with. I know a lot of women don't agree with my mentality, but guess what? Whether you agree with it in theory or not, that's the way that you get treated by your dude. So what's the problem? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. That's my grandmother used to always say. Somebody had to look up and tell me what a gander was. It's a male goose. The female is the goose and the male is the gander. So it applies in this situation too. Okay? So say ain't no moss growing on me. So let's move on to question number 24 of 25. Yeah, lady, stop thinking that this is your husband. You need to be loyal and faithful and all that old shit here. You in your 40s, go out there and be a garden tool and enjoy yourself. Female, 28 to 34 from El Paso, Texas. Serve issue. My boyfriend wants to split bills on everything. Hi, I'm 28 and I've been dating my 32-year-old boyfriend for a year now. I noticed he kept on emphasizing how men paying for everything should be appreciated or considered a luxury. I'm employed. My current boyfriend is still in school finishing his PhD, but will still bring in small income per month through his project at school. We both live in my apartment. The lease is only under my name. He pays half the rent every month. He also has no car, so we use my car time to time. We live in an area where having a vehicle is a necessity. When I brought it up to him, he said he feels like I'm being shallow from wanting a man with a car. He's also very controlling what I wear and who I get to see. Even not once was I ever unfaithful to him. Oh my God, I just want to throw up. Recently, he specifically invited me to 3 days trip, which I got no say in what the budget is and where I'm going to be living. And his friends never even invited me to their group chat discussing the trip, and it was hosted by his friends. After the trip, he sent me a link to split the bills. At first, the bill, I am in a way dumbfounded, but still decided to pay it. I wouldn't have paid shit. When I confronted my boyfriend regarding this, it wasn't just about splitting the bill. It felt like life wasn't very respectful of me. Now I just feel like maybe the relationship isn't for me. I feel really sad and disrespected. In a way, am I right to feel this way? Absolutely. Kick him out. Kick him out and tell him to go live somewhere else and do his thing somewhere else. Give him a 30-day notice to get the fuck out. And in the future, if you have a man who comes in the door talking about everything's going to be split half and stuff, then you don't even deal with him. Don't deal with him at all, because that's not the mentality of a man who's going to be prepared for the responsibility, both emotionally and financial and physical, of a wife and family. Yes, a lot of women work and they do, make considerable money, but should a man go into a relationship expecting that? The answer is no. If you can't afford to do it on your own, brother, then that means you don't need to do it. If you need a woman's help to get a house, to get all this stuff done and stuff, that means you're not ready for prime time. You're not prepared. You're not ready. Spend the time that you would spend trying to hunt up some coochie on getting a second job, an advanced degree, a certification in something so that you make more money. That's men's measure of success in this world. It never has changed. You either got money, you got land, you got goats, you got cows, you got something. Men have to have something that demonstrates that they have financial resources and / wealth in order to afford a wife and children. You don't have that, then you don't need no woman and you don't need no kids. You women having babies with these dusty broke fools are idiots. He can't even take care of himself without your help, and just suddenly you're going to be add the baby to the mix? What are you drunk? And you dudes that, you sitting around chasing after women and stuff, get your ass back in school. Do something with yourself and get yourself some money coming up. You shouldn't need a woman to come talk about you pay half. Every time you do that, it just makes you lose respect for you as a man. You don't look like a man. You look like a little begging little ass weak pussy little something. Okay? Ain't nobody going to respect you. Other men really are not. And so, in the world of men, you're at the bottom of the totem pole with your half ass. So that's my statement on it. I would never deal with a dude who told me something about half. He'd be out of my, as soon as the word came out of his mouth, I would be up and out. Not doing it. You ain't gonna go half on these labor pains, motherfucker, are you? Then fuck you. That's how it's gonna be. You gonna pay. You don't want to pay, then get the fuck out. Go over there with some dumb bitch that will do half with you. Because that ain't me. I'm not doing half or nothing. Just not doing it. And you see how it turns out. They just petty and stupid. I just can't be bothered with a man like that. Question number 25. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group. She's African American from Los Angeles, California. Summary of issue. She's 19. Her mother's almost 50. She says, my mother called me a chicken head for posting a revealing photo. Okay, self-helper, I'll get you in a minute. You have a question? If you do got a question, you just type it. I'm happy to be back too. She says, I use Instagram a lot and tend to post a lot of things on my story, which I delete after 24 hours. I posted a photo of me in a long t-shirt, which was literally like a dress on me, to my story, and I showed the photo to my mom. The reason is because I was telling her how a boy replied to my story and said that I was cute without glasses and asked to see the photo. She then went off saying how only chickenheads post photos like that and made me delete it. She said that I was so desperate for attention, which is the reason I would post photos like that. That someone in the future will pull it up, someone will save it, etc. I wasn't naked in the photo. I was literally fully covered and my account is private. I'm really upset now and I just deleted any revealing photo from my Instagram now because I feel really bad. Any advice on how to move forward with my mom? Yes, you sit down with your mother and say, Mom, you know what? I'm sorry. I didn't realize that that was how that image was perceived, because you don't. You young ladies be online thinking, I don't know what y'all be thinking. The stuff that you be posting is just ridiculous. And then you don't understand that you think like, well, I put it up there and then I deleted it. Do you know what's that website called? The Wayback Machine, that keeps images of every website on the internet. It has images from my website, askheartbeat.com, from the 1990s. Okay, there's nothing that you're gonna put on the internet that's not gonna be there later. Now you graduated, you got a doctorate, and you want to be on the Supreme Court, and they pull up a picture of you showing half your ass in a long T-shirt. That's what your mother's trying to prevent you from. Even though you think like, well, I'm covered up and stuff, it is the illusion of nudity that is the problem. It's the same thing when girls, and my own father had to pull my coat on this. You wear a T-shirt, right? You have on shorts, and then the shirt that you have on is the same length or longer than the shorts. So it looks like you don't have anything on but the T-shirt, and you just walking around. My father's the one who said, you're not going to do that. And he told me why. And once he explained to me, I was embarrassed because I hadn't thought about it, which, most young girls not. That's why you need parents. They're supposed to parent you and educate you this stuff. Your mother's trying to teach you. I mean, her method may not have been, the most polite, but what she's telling you is real. You don't put stuff like that. You don't need to put pictures of yourself in swimsuits up on there. You being drunk, half dressed in revealing kind of clothes, no nasty ass poses, straddling dudes' laps and doing all this kind of stuff like you doing hoochie dances on, laying on the dance floor and all this kind of stuff I see girls doing and posting online. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't mark yourself like that. Basically, you're just fucking yourself over. That's what you're doing. For what? So people can like your post? Don't do that. There's just certain things that you really just should not do. And one of them is conduct yourself like a hood rat hoochie. Okay, on the internet where anybody in the world can see that. You don't know what opportunities you're going to be losing because you couldn't control your posting finger when you were stupid and young. Think about shit that you do now because it's on the internet forever. Okay, you're not going to escape. Your ass is never going to be on the Supreme Court if you doing stupid shit online. They will use it because they investigate you. They practically look at you into like reserved diapers that you had when you was 2 months old and shit. They want to know everything about you, and it's going to come up. And you're going to be denied opportunities because of it. A lot of jobs have morals clauses. They look on social media. Not to say that they can use it against you officially, but it tells a story about your morals and your values and how you conduct yourself. And if they feel like because of what you did up there that your morals and values and stuff are out of line with what their corporation, business, I don't know, what are they, them foundations or whatever is trying to do, then they're not going to hire you. They're not going to want you nowhere near them. No matter what your skills and education are, because you've presented yourself to be a fool on the internet. Just like hoeing around and being stupid. So young lady, like I said, your mother is teaching you right. She's telling you right. I'm glad you deleted those posts. Please don't post anything like that ever again. If it's nothing that you can proudly show to an employer, your future husband, your future children, your future grandchildren, the Supreme Court justices, where you try to get a job, then don't post it. That's the standard that I should use. Anything, I'm not saying you can't take the pictures. I said don't post them. But even just taking them is kind of risky because it's in your phone and you losing your phone and shit. People be hacking into your phone and then it should be online anyway because people want to out to get you. So I mean, I don't even know, dudes that want to take pictures of you in lingerie and all this old stuff here. Nope, you're not taking pictures of nothing. Well, I don't. There's no pictures of me that exist like that ever. No, nowhere on this planet. I don't know. And this was way before the internet, because we talk the internet didn't really hit that good until like the mid to late '90s. But and I was already plenty adult by then. But it's not. I just was not gonna. I just never felt comfortable with that kind of stuff. You just never know what people gonna do with them images. And I always was thinking about that from a very young age. I'm like, no, nope, nope, nope. I might have to do. You might. Okay, I'll do that. Cookie face. Thank you. So yeah. So self helper. Do you have a question? Did you want to ask anything before I jump up out of here? You was the only one. Yeah, I'll be letting people take. People are just weird. I don't know. People are weird. It's like, did you guys notice since COVID, it just seems like mental illness has like quadrupled. Everybody's like, oh, I'm depressed. I have anxiety. I have, and then they all these freaky, weird things they want to do, and this crazy way they talk to each other. It's just like everybody's cray cray has come out or something. I don't know. I just don't be messing with folks too much. I just can't do it. Yeah, and it's not to say this is way before I, got online and all. I mean, like I say, because the internet wasn't around yet. But something just told me that that's not really what I wanted to do. Oh, she said no. Oh, okay. Thank you. Sending me some love. Oh, and all of a sudden I think I remember why this happened. Okay, I had this friend. It was an older family friend, and he got married, right? Black guy, and he married this Filipino lady, and she was really cute and stuff, really pretty and everything. And I don't know how old was I, probably around maybe 10, 11. Anyway, he had a picture that in his wallet that you remember how Polaroid cameras where you take the picture and it comes out right now. Okay, it was one of them kind of pictures. And so he had it in his wallet of his wife, and she wasn't like posing any bedroom pose or anything like that. She had like a long negligee on, the kind with the robe and stuff, but it was kind of low cut in the front, and she was posing like with her hands on her hip and stuff like that. And he had the picture in his wallet. So why did he pull this picture out? He's showing a picture to my father, my brothers, my uncles. They all looking at his wife in lingerie. Now, like I said, it wasn't really revealing anything. You didn't see anything really. I mean, but the implication is that this is lingerie. It wasn't like Fredericks or Hollywood or Victoria's Secret lingerie. It was, very conservative stuff. It was a long robe and a long gown. But I remember feeling like as a little girl, I could feel the energy change in the room from the men, the excitement. Because, this is before the internet. So keep in mind, that kind of stuff was considered, kind of, that was sexy, risque, whatever at that point in time in the world. Not like what's online now. That they just do everything. But, this was years and years ago. And so, decades ago. And I remember that energy shift. And I didn't like it. My mother, I don't know where my mother was. I probably should have been there anyway, but you know me, I want to be where they actually is, so I want to see. But I think that now that I'm thinking about it, I think that's what triggered that. So I don't let nobody that probably is it. It just the thought just came to me. I don't let nobody oh, thank you. I don't let nobody take any pictures of me doing nothing. Not put no pictures of me up and doing nothing. But yeah, I remember that. It's so bizarre. So yeah, we don't have no more Dusty News Network shows. I'm gonna be starting to prep for my webinar, which will be coming up in a few weeks. Um, but other than that, if I get time on Sunday, we might have a Sunday sermon. So you guys mark the time. I usually do Sunday shows at 4 p.m. So if you have some time, mark that time slot off, and I will, because you get the invitation after I set up the show page. But there's a couple of things I want to talk about as we head into the webinar on just saying no. Some of the things I want to cover about confidence and how that's a problem for young women. I want to talk about that. Young men too. It's like a real issue with these millennials. Not sure what happened, but we'll talk about it hopefully this Sunday. so I can get my act together because I want to do it before the holiday. But other than that, it's been great to see everybody again. Um, you guys very loyal viewers, and I like all the stuff you guys have to say. You know, you be chatting, just chopping it up in the chat room and stuff. So it's always a good time for everybody, and you guys are like a little family. Hi, how's the dog? How you doing? How's school? It's so cute to see. It's like, you know, you guys have formed your own little club here. It's very cute. So anyway, I'll see everybody real soon. Hopefully Sunday. Then if not, I guess next Wednesday before Thanksgiving. We'll be here for What the Fuck Wednesday again. I'll be doing it from my cousin's house though. Okay, see you later. Bye.